So let's do this. So let me change the font to Bibas. It's not Bibas exactly that they used, but this one is. Or let me even try Morganite. Is this where I have Morganite? Okay, I don't have it on this system. All right. So let's write YouTube. Okay, so I can't find the fonts I was looking for. Ross use Bibas. So now, once you do this, one thing you need to do first of all is to convert this to a format where you can edit it individually. So you right click and then click on create outlines. Create outlines. So what it does is it changes it from being a text to being a shape. See, now it's a text, you can edit it. You can change what is written there as it is now. But when you convert to outlines, create outlines, it's no longer text. See that you can't edit it again. You can't write anything. So it's just like rasterizing on Photoshop. Now you can ungroup. So you can ungroup and then change whatever you want to change. Is that okay? So let me bring in the image. So I've brought in the image by the side so that I can be looking at it as we are working on it. So first thing we have to do, we have to extend the leg, the tail of the Y, right? So here's what we do. We come to this direct selection tool. Now, look at what happens. When we size, let me go back to the normal selection tool, the pick tool. Look at this, the Y is selected wholesome, like in its wholeness. But if you use this direct selection tool, you see that we now have nodes at different points in the Y. We have a node here, 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 a node here. We have anchor points everywhere. Can you see it? Do you guys see that?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Can you see the nodes I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
All right.
On the Y.
Yes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now what we do is, let me go back. If we use this pick tool to try to stretch the Y, the tail of the Y, it's going to distort it. It's going to draw it down like this, which is not what we want. We just want only the tail to stretch. So we use the direct selection tool, G. So now when we use the direct selection tool, we come and select only the bottom nodes and then draw it down. Let me show you again. If we use the normal selection tool and select Y and draw it down, it will draw down the whole of the Y, which is not what we want. So what we do is we use the direct selection tool and then just draw a box around the area where we want to draw down. So you see that, let me zoom in very well. Only the nodes here are selected. You see that they are not selected. Everything is selected, but when we draw it like this, you see that this one is selected. That's why it's blue in color. But the other ones are white. I really hope you guys can see it. This one is white. If I click on it, it turns blue. That means it's selected. So we just select only the bottom ones. After selecting only the bottom ones, we now draw it down. Hold shift so that it will be straight. So that's how we do it. The same thing with this one too. We select all these bottom nodes and then draw it down. The same thing with the U. Select all the bottom nodes and then draw them down. Oh, no. And then draw them down. The same thing with C. But instead of doing it one, we can just select everything together and then draw them down. Now I see that there's something wrong with our B. So it means our B is not, we've not selected our B very well. Not select our B very well. So let's select B again and try again. Okay. We've gotten the B. So let's do the E. Then the U. And then C. So we are doing this so that it's just the tail of the letters that we are drawing down. So we now have something similar to what we have here. We'll go back to our normal selection too and then move it up. So next thing we need to do now is, I hope you guys are following to this point. Next thing we need to do now is, we need to look at this edge. You see that the edge of the E is rounded. But our own is straight, like it's pointy. So what we'll do, we'll go back to our direct selection soon. And then come here. This circle within, you see that when the more cursor touches it, it has this curve like stuff. So we click on this and then curve it. It's curving everything. So let's just select only one and then curve that one. So this is it. Let's curve it in a little bit more. Very good. We do the same thing here. Select this and then curve it in. I think the curve is too much here. Okay. Let's reduce the curve. So let's reduce the curve. Let's reduce the curve. So that's the same thing we do for our T. It's also the same thing. Just select this part, then curve it in a bit. Select this part, curve it in a bit. Which other letter has curved parts like that? I think that's all for now. So we can now move on to arrange it. So arrange it the way it is here. So first of all, what we'll do is, Y is already placed where it should be. So we'll move on to our O. We need to shorten the O, so make it smaller. So what we do is, the same way we made it longer, we'll just reverse that thing we did. So we'll make it shorter. Now having made it shorter, we'll drag it down a bit. Good. Then we bring the U to this point too. And then we use the same thing and make the U shorter. Okay, so we have this now. Where is our properties? Not align. Okay, good now. So we have to extend this our T, the umbrella of this T, the dash of this T. We have to extend it to this Y to join with the Y. So what we just do is we use the selection to the direct selection tree, select the nodes involved and then drag them into the Y. So like this, it's has joined with the Y. Let's bring this, let's bring the O down with it. There. So what else? Our U and B are joined together. Hmm. So what do? We make our UBE smaller. So we reduce the length. Okay. Then move them down. So we stretch this to the end. Good. So you see that everything is already aligning. Let's make our UBE bigger. Okay. So we've been able to arrange it. What is left now is to achieve this U that is joining to B. So to do that now, we can just create a rectangle that starts from this U and runs into B like this. Then we draw another one. We draw another smaller one. Okay. So now in order to see what we did here, we use our shape builder tool. Or let me show outlines. Control X and Control T. No? Control which Control Y, yeah. Control Y. Since everything is black. So these are the boxes here. So what do? We use our shape builder tool. So with this now, we use our shape builder tool and merge the ones we want to merge. So we merge this, we let it run into the B. Oh, I think there's something wrong with what we did. So first of all, this second one needs to come down. Yeah. Good. So we select everything. I use a shape builder to we draw this like this and like this. And it forms one single shape. Join these parts. Then we'll now hold on. You see that this shape builder, the one we've been doing is showing plus on the cursor. So you hold Alt to show minus. I think I've taught you about shape builder too before. And then you move it to remove these parts. So we have removed those parts. So click on Ctrl Y to show us our normal thing again. This is what we have. So we have our YouTube text effects ready. Glory. All right. So yeah, this is it. Now let's try to do this thing they did here. So we'll group. Then we'll create a rectangle, black rectangle. We duplicate this, just hold Alt and drag it out. So this duplicates, we change the color. If your color to white, and then drag in the duplicates. Is at the back, so you right click, arrange, bring to front. It's in the front now. So you align, hold shift and hold the box, and then align. And we have our YouTube.